See, if I give it throttle out of the corner, it just hooks. Hey YouTube, what's up? I just finished my workout. God is good. We're off to a great start today. Let me go ahead and switch over to my POV cam and let's chat. And we're back. Proper key. Today we're going to be in my FL5. I wanted to do a quick update now that I'm at about 2,500 miles or thereabouts. So the honeymoon period is over. I've done a couple of mods. They're not very serious, but let me tell you what I've done. You'll notice that the Honda emblem is actually red and black now rather than the chrome. I wasn't originally going to do this, but during one of my spirited drives, rock chip flew up and chipped the emblem. So rather than buying a whole new emblem, I bought the overlay kit from I think AFD Dynamics and just applied the overlay, and it cleaned it up. It makes it look nice, actually, because I'm not a fan of chrome. It's more uniform. So I did this to the front and the back. Total install time was probably about, 15 minutes. You apply it, use the heat gun, it goes right on. Biggest thing is making sure that it's straight. So that's one mod I did. The other mod that I did was these vent covers. This car is notorious for rocks flying through here because these vents are actually rather large. I got those off of Two Step Performance for like 60, 70 bucks. Again, easy install, 10 minutes. You pull the lining off here and just insert these behind. There's better looking ones, but it's really not that serious in my opinion. So that's mod number 2 that I've done. And then mod 3 will be the dead pedal. I don't like that the dead pedal is black and plastic from the factory. So I went with just a straight metal cover. The finish isn't the same exactly, but it's still better than that plastic. I want to upgrade to something more serious if I can. If you know of ones that are out there, I was kind of looking. I wasn't happy with the options. This was just a cheap one from Amazon, but it helped my OCD. So when I look into here, I have a metal pedal. So those are the 3 mods I have. I have another one on the way. I will tell you about that when I get it. But let's hop in and drive. Good old animation. Let's see what my mileage is at. So 2,455. Okay, so not quite 2,500 miles. But I've owned this for enough time and I've driven it hard enough. So again, now that the honeymoon period is over, let's talk about this FL5. I did a video where I gave this car a 10 out of 10, mainly for its driving dynamic and daily drivability. Lots of comments on, oh, it's not a 10 out of 10, it's not perfect. Again, the point of that video was from a driving dynamic perspective, I believe this car is a 10 out of 10. And I still believe that to be true. There's not really a lot of JDM options anymore like there used to be. We have GR86, BRZ, GR Corolla, you have Civic Si. I mean, you have very few in the market today. Of course, never forget the car that's always the answer, which is the MX-5, the Miata. And I'm talking about affordability. We have the Nissan Z, we have the Supra. What else do we have? What am I forgetting? The Integra Type S is like this, of course. It's its brother. I give this still a 10 out of 10. Oh, of course, I can't forget the Elantra N, but I was speaking specifically towards JDM. Yeah, we have the Golf family, GTI, the R, but I think this car is the best from a driving dynamics plus practicality, usability, even after these almost 2,500 miles. The engagement is perfect. I look forward to driving it every day. For those that are new to this channel, I have a C8 Corvette. I've owned many cars, upwards of 20 cars. Notable cars I've owned: C7 Z06. I've owned an STI. I've owned 370Zs. I've owned BRZ. I've owned an 8.6. I mean, I've had a lot of cars: RX-7s, RX-8s. I'm doing a new series. I'm on episode 3 of the cars that I've owned, which I just put out for the Mazda Speed 3, which I owned back in 2010. I'm overlaying that with some sim driving of the car, and I'm kind of talking about what I appreciated and what you can expect as an owner. So again, I'm on car 3. This channel is for those that appreciate driving dynamics, but I'm also a follower of Christ, and I talk about those things. I talk about the tough conversations that not everybody's willing to have. I put out a video recently. It's a testimonial of my buddy Gerald, who talks about his faith. And this is an open call to anybody that wants to talk about those things. I would love to have you on Zoom, whether you believe in Jesus Christ or you have a different faith and you want to have the conversation. I am more than willing to have you on. I would like to do an episode 2 of my Driving by Faith series. So just leave me a comment. You can reach out to me. My email is on the channel, and we can have those conversations. But yeah, now back to the Type R. It feels solid. The doors are nice. The seats are nice. The shifter's nice. The interior is relatively decent. Oh, I'm here. I gotta give a pull. Let's go. Yeah. So 315 horsepower, 310 torque, stock in the US market version. You can get 500 horsepower reliably in this K20C1. In stock form, which mine is, to me it's not like blisteringly fast, but it has enough power. And if you were to go on a track, you can approach this car confidently. You can drive it at its limit pretty easily, I would say. And that's the beauty of it. You can go flat out and not break the law, not at felony speeds anyway. You just feel good when you drive it. When you put this in gear and you shift the gears, you feel good. Those that hate on the front wheel drive aspect, I understand your mindset. I understand where you're coming from. I would suggest that you drive one of these before you judge it. It's one of those situations. The only other front wheel drive performance car I owned other than this was the Mazda Speed 3, and that was, you know, the torque steer was not as dialed in as this. Again, that's, you know, what was that, 15 years ago at this point? I don't know, something like that. But this is not like a typical front wheel drive car. It's dialed in. From the factory, it comes with max stats. I mean, as far as like factory cars go, of course you can do a lot more to make this perform even better, but there's certain things that you cannot do without spending a significant amount of money, and that's like what this chassis is and how rigid it is. Honda has dialed this in. You could keep this car bone stock and enjoy it for the entire duration of ownership and not have to do anything outside of the sound, which is the biggest, I think, downfall. I still give this car, from a performance and daily driving perspective, I give it a 10 out of 10. But if I was going to change something, and I will, it's going to be the sound. The sound of the exhaust, because of the Japanese regulations, leaves something to be desired. The Integra Type S comes with a better exhaust note because that is built in the US and we don't have the same regulations that they do in Japan. So you get the pops, the burbles, and a little bit of a deeper tone. I think there's less resonators on that exhaust. But because this is built in Japan, for Japan mainly, we suffer from not having the louder sound, which is okay. Because I think most people that buy this get aftermarket exhaust anyway. Let's be real about that. I know it would be great to have something from day one that sounds great, but it's not a reality, and so we have to move on. And I'm not one to necessarily nitpick, like to sweat the small stuff. I mean, we are, especially in the United States, we are such a rich and blessed country. We have so much, so thank God for that. Like, that's the reason why I don't sweat small stuff, because in the United States, folks, we poop in clean water. There are countries that don't have clean water to drink, but yet we poop in clean water. Imagine that. Like, think about that. And so, yes, while we spend a good amount of money that we work so hard for on these things, and we want things to be perfect, nothing in this life is perfect. This is not heaven. And so I tend to be grateful for the things that I do have and can have. And so, yeah, if my hot hatch doesn't have the perfect exhaust note, oh well. If I want to do something about it, I will fix it. Now, another thing you should know about this car is the gas mileage is actually decent. I'm averaging 25.8 right now on this tank. I've gotten upwards of 29, depending on how heavy you are with the foot. People have gotten in the 30s, but I enjoy this car. I drive it. I have it on individual mode, and I have the engine response set to plus R mode, so that's gonna liven up the gas pedal, and so I'm gonna burn more because I want to enjoy this car. But even with that, I get 25.8 miles per gallon. But the tank is small. It's a 12-gallon tank, but you're filling up around 9.5 gallons because that's when the gas light comes on, which I have to get gas here soon. Tank is small, but I'm paying $30 a fill up for 93 premium. It's great. It's not that bad. I get to go to the gas station more often and enjoy and admire my car from the outside, and people come up to me and ask me about it. They want to know about it, and those that know about it, they give props. So it's just been an absolute joy. I look forward to driving this more than my C8, though I do like driving my C8 a lot. This is coming from an S2000, you feel the shifter spirit. You feel Honda's racing heritage come out in this car, just like I did in the S2000. Even if it's front wheel drive, which this differential is so good, I forget that it's front wheel drive. My buddy was in here and he was like, "This is not all-wheel drive." He was shocked. See, if I give it throttle out of the corner, it just hooks. You won't be disappointed. Now, I did a post recently showing one of these was selling in Dallas for $60K almost. that was some of the quotes I got. I bought mine for under MSRP. I did a video on that. I don't think it's worth, you know, $60K. I have to be realistic with the money. We have to be wise with our money. We have to be good stewards of our money. And bless you all that paid $80K for these when they first came out. It's not an $80K car. The paint isn't there. The fit and finish isn't there. That doesn't mean that it's not perfect for what it is. It's not an $80K car. So my advice to you is be patient. Don't give the dealerships what they want. Yes, it's a limited car, but don't give into that, because if you give into that and you buy them, the dealerships are going to keep selling them like that. And dealerships, you need to know this. This car was not designed to be an $80K car. It was designed to be, as it always was, a car that the everyday man could buy, use on the track, use for work, come home to his family, and still have a good time. That's what it was designed to be. It was supposed to be affordable. And so you're stealing the heritage of what this car was always supposed to be. And I don't agree with that. And we as people, we can make a choice to not buy it. And I bet you the dealerships will concede, and then they will drop the price. And that's what happened with this one. This one was listed over MSRP for a while and nobody bought it. I found it in College Station. I talked to the dealership and went down and picked it up, and for under MSRP. Brand new. So let's set that example. Now we're in an interesting time with tariffs and used car market being high, and you know, who knows what's going to happen because of tariffs. That might impact kind of what I'm talking about, but even still, like, dealerships are going to have to get rid of their supply. They will sell them. If they have to cut costs, they will. They don't want cars sitting on the lot for a long time. But I think that's all I have for you today. Just a quick update. Everything is going well. No issues with this car. It drives like a dream. I hope you get the chance to experience one. Or whatever you drive, I hope you enjoy whatever it is you drive. And if you're just stopping by to see what it's kind of like being in a Type R, this is it. From an owner's perspective, I enjoy it. Owned many cars. This is definitely on the top of my list. But with that, God bless you and your families. Drop a comment. If you want to talk about faith or you struggle with those things, let me know. I'd love to chat with you. Because what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his own soul? These material things pass away. The eternal is forever. Take care, all. I'm out.